Where to start? The darkness falls, it feels so deep. Filled with pain, just want to sleep. No hope, no light, grief in my heart. Want it to end? Where do I start? This seems everlasting, no good of which to speak. Sorrow overwhelming, the future oh so bleak. Someone please help me before I'm torn apart. I want this to be over, but I don't know where to start. I'd like to take a little of your time, if you don't mind, to tell you the story of a life, my life. My name is Jennifer, and I have borderline personality disorder. Now, before I knew that, I knew the skills to manage it, I and my life were a complete disaster. It began even before junior high school. I was failing practically every class, and by the 10th grade, I just dropped out. At the age of 16, I got into an abusive, obsessive relationship that lasted 17 years. My so-called life was filled with drugs, alcohol, and one poor decision after another. My personal relationships were a mess, and my family ties were stressed. I couldn't hold a job, and I couldn't support myself. I've had many unsuccessful attempts at employment. I tried to go to college several times, and each time I failed for one reason or another. For many years, I was filled with anger, sadness, hopelessness, and I felt worthless. I couldn't see how things could ever be any different or any better, so I was a cutter, and I was suicidal. In November of 2006, a life-changing event occurred. I made a significant cut on my arm. Was it attempted suicide? No. It was a scream, a cry, a plead for help. I desperately needed help. I was almost 36 years old, and my life had become stagnant for the last 20. Something had to change. I had to change. After a trip to the ER to repair my wounded arm, and then a state of crisis center for a few days, it was time to start the process of healing my soul, my heart, and my life. I started therapy, was properly diagnosed, and was placed on the right medication. I had 3 different clinicians over the years, as well as attending DBT groups. DBT is dialectical behavior therapy. It helps people to better deal with the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, and I believe it had a big part in saving my life. Over the 3 years of therapy, I learned many different coping skills, communication skills, and I learned self-confidence. I learned how it feels to feel good. I learned that I deserve and was worthy of having a good life, a stable and productive life, a life worth living. In February of 2008, I took a training that helped me to take me further down the road of recovery. It's called Georgia Peer Specialist Training, taught by Dr. Ed Knight. The training involves learning about recovery and learning about how to help others in theirs. I also learned that helping others felt good, and helping them helps me in turn. So, in May of 2008, I began attending at the Pathways Access Center, an innovative program that helps people to build the skills and the knowledge that's needed to improve the quality of their lives. I went to a variety of groups with my peers, strengthening my skills, and again, strengthening my self-confidence. I also volunteered at the Access Center, helping out any way that I could, and I became a mentor for the other members. All of this gave me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. I loved every minute of it, and it kicked my recovery into high gear. I had always wanted to be a part of something. I had always needed something to belong to. And with the Pathways Access Center, I had that, something I had never, ever had before. After volunteering at the center for 6 months, I was hired as a peer specialist. I have been now working for a year and a half. The future is bright now and full of possibilities. At times, the road is still rocky, and there are obstacles that come into my life, just like in everyone's, just like in all of yours. But now I have the knowledge and self-confidence to handle it. There are still many things I want to accomplish, and I have every intention of doing my best to succeed despite those obstacles. And finally, I'd like to express my gratitude and my love to my family. Because without their patience and support, my healing and the road to recovery would have been and would be a lot more rocky. Thank you.